First, the top headlines. A burnt dead body found at Poiropot in Imphal East District under Andro Assembly constituency. Manipur security forces uncover huge cache of arms and explosives in extensive operations across the state. Security troops recover arms and ammunition from Manipur's Kakching and ensure strict measures. Manipur Kuki-Zo women demand justice and protection following mother's death in Jiribam. A very good afternoon. Welcome to Elite TV. You're watching English News at 3 p.m. I'm your host, Chongtham, Amrita, and these are the news in details. In a shocking incident, a burnt dead body was found in a field at Poiropot in Imphal East District under Andro Assembly constituency. According to report called from the spot early in the morning, some passers-by came across the body inside the burning pile of straw in the field. Most of the body were burnt and found the skull erected from the straws piled up there. The deceased is yet to be identified. The Andro police has taken up a case in connection with the incident. Moreover, the dead was male or female is also yet to be established. In a concerted effort to bolster security and maintain control in high-risk regions, security forces carried out intensive search and area domination operations in the hill and valley districts of Imphal. The operations targeted fringe and vulnerable zones, resulting in significant arms recoveries from 2 locations. In the Chongtham Hill range of Imphal East District, the search yielded a substantial cache, including 1 locally crafted carbine complete with a magazine, 13 high-explosive hand grenades, 2 Chinese-made hand grenades, 2 WP smoke grenades, 32 rounds of AK rifle ammunition, 10 detonators with a container, a radio set labeled HT-T6, a green ammunition box, and 1 grenade open key. Simultaneously, in the Thingom area of Imphal West District, forces uncovered additional weaponry comprising a 9mm carbine machine with a magazine, a grenade launcher, a locally produced 9mm pistol with a magazine, 5 .36 type hand grenades, 11 rounds of live ammunition, 10 spent cartridges, 10 blank 7.62 mm cartridges, a tube launcher, a Talk Pro wireless communication set, a 3-way smoke grenade, and a stun shell. Security forces in Manipur seized a huge consignment of arms and ammunition during frequent search operations and area domination exercises. The troops have maintained heightened security and vigil in the fringe and vulnerable areas of hill and valley districts, aiming to maintain peaceful conditions across the state. The forces recovered significant items from Kakching district's Laimanai-Laimatonching areas, including 1 country-made 9mm pistol with magazine, 2 carbine magazines empty, 1.36 hand grenade, 1 detonator, 5 live round ammunitions, 3 empty cartridges, 1 38.8 tear gas gun, 8 TM smoke shells, 1 Baofeng handset with charger, 1 helmet, 1 mag pouch, among other miscellaneous items. Meanwhile, the security forces also ensured the movement of 14 vehicles carrying essential items along National Highway 2. Furthermore, strict security measures have been taken up in all vulnerable locations, along with the provision of a security convoy in sensitive stretches, aiming to ensure free and safe movement of the vehicles. 110 nakas or checkpoints were also installed in different districts of the state, both in the hill and the valley. The police, however, did not detain any number of individuals for involvement with violations. Kuki-Zo women gathered in Gamgifai, Sada Hills on Friday to protest the death of Josangkim Mar, a mother of 3 in Zairom village, Ziribam. Rallying under banners denouncing violence, the protesters called for accountability and structural protection, voicing concerns over escalating attacks against Kuki-Zo individuals. The protest began with a solemn moment of silence to honor Josangkim, whom the community reveres as a martyr, symbolizing the increasing vulnerability they face. Details of Josangkim's killing surfaced on social media with disturbing footage reportedly showing her being physically assaulted and burned. Angie Lun Kipgen, a prominent Kuki-Zo leader, condemned the act as an egregious human rights violation. Kipgen called for both national and international bodies to recognize the plight of the Kuki-Zo people. The Committee on Tribal Unity KOTU echoed these demands, questioning the silence from mainstream media and national leaders regarding the incident. The committee voiced its frustration over what it perceives as a lack of action from Delhi, arguing that without government-backed protections, the Kuki-Zo community remains susceptible to further violence. Our people cannot endure these attacks in isolation. We demand that our voices be heard and our calls for autonomy and safety be acknowledged, said a KOTU representative. KOTU also issued a warning vowing that the Kuki-Zo community would take preventive steps against any future aggression. Our community is prepared to defend itself. We will not tolerate further bloodshed on our land, said a spokesperson. Guwahati Police, in collaboration with the Special Operations Group SOG, seized approximately Rs 70 lakh in fake currency at the Interstate Bus Terminal ISBT. The operation was initiated after credible intelligence was received, leading to a swift and strategic crackdown. Authorities apprehended Hafiz Ali, a resident of Gogamukh in Dhemaji district, during the raid. Initial investigations suggest that the counterfeit money was being transported from Bandar Dewa to Guwahati aboard a night bus. Police officials suspect that the smuggling attempt was orchestrated by an extensive network involved in circulating fake currency throughout various areas. According to sources, the counterfeit notes had been meticulously packed to avoid suspicion and blended with regular passenger belongings to evade security checks. This discovery has prompted further probes to identify other operatives and links within the syndicate. In tribute to the brave soldiers who defended India during the 1962 Battle of Walong, the Indian Army has launched a commemorative motorcycle expedition from Mipi to Mishai. The expedition, marking the 62nd anniversary of Walong Day, was flagged off on November 8, 2024 by Major General V.S. Deshpande, General Officer commanding Nagaland Division, alongside Anini MLA Sri Mopi Mihu and other dignitaries from the Arunachal Pradesh government. The inauguration event held in Mipi featured cultural performances and a martial arts display celebrating the unity and the resilience of the region. The motorcycle expedition includes participants from the armed forces and local adventure enthusiasts, with scheduled stops at Roing and Hayuliang before concluding at the historic Walong War Memorial on November 11, 2024. This expedition symbolizes a tribute to the courage of the Indian soldiers and the supportive spirit of the people of Arunachal Pradesh during the Indo-China conflict of 1962. Traveling across the Mishmi Ranges and through the picturesque Dibang and Lohit valleys, the riders aim to reinforce the bond between the Indian Army and the people of Arunachal Pradesh. Each stop provides an opportunity for riders to engage with local communities, highlighting the strength and solidarity that characterize the region. The expedition not only honors the legacy of the 1962 heroes, but also promotes adventure tourism and fosters a spirit of unity in the frontier regions. The concluding ceremony at the Walong War Memorial on November 11 will feature a solemn flagging-in ceremony where the riders will pay homage to the soldiers who stood firm at Walong. Now let's take a short break and we will return with more news updates. Stay tuned.
포토 좀 띄우세요. ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯂꯩꯀꯥꯏꯗꯅꯤ ꯅꯣꯡꯂꯩꯒꯤ ꯉꯥꯛꯇꯅꯤ ꯂꯩꯔꯤꯁꯦ. ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯃꯊꯛꯇ ꯅꯨꯄꯤ ꯊꯤꯕ ꯅꯣꯡꯂꯩ ꯀꯧꯕ ꯑꯅꯤ ꯑꯃꯁꯨ ꯌꯥꯎꯔꯝꯅꯤ.
ꯅꯨꯄꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯕꯤ ꯀꯌꯥꯒꯤ ꯐꯤꯗꯝꯅꯐꯝꯕꯨ ꯇꯦꯝꯁꯤꯡꯅꯔꯤꯕ ꯃꯤꯑꯣꯏꯕꯒꯤ ꯋꯥꯍꯟꯊꯣꯛ ꯂꯩꯍꯟꯗ꯭ꯔꯕ ꯈꯨꯟꯅꯥꯏꯁꯤꯗ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯏꯆꯥꯕꯨ ꯃꯇꯝ ꯆꯥꯅ ꯀꯟꯕꯤꯔꯛ.
Reproductive and Child Health RCH Portal, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India ki Makhada, eligible couples Haibadi, Yum Palabishing, Mirolabi, Amadi, Chahi Nodiba Angangshingi, Hakshil, Mapum Fana Digital Platform, the Yangshin Nabagidamakta, RCH Portal, State as the Chatnari, RCS Portal, Asida, Taugadaba Singh, Miana Tamjiri, Register Tauraba, Yum Palabi, Mirolabi, Amadi, Angangshingu, Yangshinduna, Kudong Tibadi Nak Toknaba, Honabatamping Pangli, eligible couple Singu, Takudingi, contraceptive Sizinabra, Natraga, Mirolabra Haina, tracking Tori, Miron Bishingbu, Kudong Tibadi Nak Toknaba, Checkup Kimang Jongana, Pau Piduna, Matam Chana, Checkup Tawan Jagani, Amadi Checkup the Lokiba Service, Amadi Test Results Singi Information, Lokatuna, Makata Digital Platform da Naina Jagani, Anang Singu, Laina Kayadi Nak Toknaba Bharat Sarkar Piriba Immunization Schedule, Fangan Nabagidamata, Mangjongana Pau Piduna, Mapum Fanatika Topada, Mating Pangi, Bharat Sarkar Diskim, Habidi, JSY PMMBY, Amadi, Kilkari Singh Asigi, Kudong Chaba Lolo Gidamata, Sukso Shoit, RCH Portal da Register Tobiduna, RCH ID Lobi, Taubiganu, Nopiobi Singna Yung Hepanbaga, Adomgi Lekagi, Asha Natraga, Adomgi Area Health Center da Register Sukso Shoitna, Tobiduna, RCH ID Lobi, Adomgi, Mirol Bagi Servicing, Mapumfana Upload, Tonabagidamata, Mirole Hekkambaga, Checkup Amata Chatringaida, Miron be Register Sukso Shoitna Tobio, Akopamaro Gidamak, Adomgi Asa Natraga, toll free number 104 da Pau Phobio, Pau Jinjariba, Data Section, State Health Society, National Health Mission, Manipur.
Singapore Nagaland Vision kilometer
Everyone is welcome. I think welcome back after the short break, and now let's continue with more news updates. In breaking news, one married woman was killed and other injured in Kuki militants' attack at Saiton in Bishnupur district today. The incident took place around 11:30 a.m. today. Some women folks of the area were thrashing. The details are awaited. Nagaland Deputy Chief Minister T.R. Zeliang outlined key priorities for the state in 2047, emphasizing the goal of fostering a vibrant economy that honors its cultural heritage while promoting inclusive growth for all communities. Zeliang stressed importance of integrating socio-economic growth, cultural preservation, infrastructure development, and environmental sustainability as the core pillars of the 2047 vision. The Deputy CM was speaking at the state-level consultative meeting for NEC Vision Plan 2047 in Kohima, organized by the Northeastern Development Finance Corporation Limited, NETFI, in collaboration with Northeastern Council, NEC, and Ministry of Donor. Key stakeholders, including officials from NETFI, the NEC, and the state government representatives, will participate in the meeting and discuss long-term goals for the state's sustainable development. Zeliang highlighted that the state aims to achieve Vikshit Bharat, developed India, further emphasizing the need to modernize agriculture in the state. He proposed the integration of advanced technologies, organic farming methods, and sustainable practices to enhance food security and open new avenues for export. Furthermore, the Nagaland Deputy CM also underscored the importance of capacity building for farmers and expanding agricultural infrastructure, such as irrigation systems and cold storage facilities. Addressing the state's infrastructure challenges, he called for greater investments in road networks as well as the development of air, rail, and water transport systems, aiming seamless connectivity between rural and urban centers. Nagaland government has also sought the support of the NEC for the development of warehouses and cold storage facilities at bus depots and transport terminals. Mizoram Chief Minister Lalduhoma announced the establishment of committees in all government departments to review employee service and ensure a qualified and efficient workforce. CM Lalduhoma said this at a conference of the Mizoram Secretariat Service Association on November 8. He said service review committees have been formed in all departments. We will identify employees who can perform their duties as well as those who are not fit to continue to ensure that the state has qualified and efficient employees. Furthermore, Lalduhoma exulted that the quality of the state would immediately improve if the service quality of government employees improved. Earlier, the Chief Minister of Mizoram had said the government would take steps to terminate the services of such employees who are not fit to continue. Police officials rescued a 4-month-old baby in Udaipur who had allegedly been sold by his mother in Tripura for ₹4,000 due to extreme poverty. The incident was revealed through a Facebook post by Partha Pratim Majumdar, the secretary of the CPIM's Bisalgarh Sub-Divisional Committee, who claimed that a worker from the Basumati Tea estate in Sepahijala district had sold her baby for ₹4,000 due to poverty. Majumdar further claimed that the woman has 4 children and is taking care of them alone. Following the allegations, the administration sought the childline's help and sent personnel to the hutment where the woman lives. Officials said that the baby was found with a couple from Udaipur in Gomati district during the course of the investigation. Additional SDM of Bisalgarh, Debjani Chowdhury, told PTI, "We rescued the child and returned him to his mother on Wednesday night. The administration has not received any complaint that the child was sold by his mother. It appears the woman is separated from her husband, who is also a tea garden laborer. It is also true that her husband was missing when our team visited the place." She said the woman's Family received a house under PM Awas Yojana besides a family ration card, but she lives in a hutment inside the tea garden with her 4 children. We will extend financial and other support to the woman, she said. As the indefinite hunger strike and ongoing protest by Northeastern Hill University students entered its 4th day, faculty members urged Meghalaya Governor C.H. Vijayashankar to intervene and help resolve the crisis. Protests at the university serving nearly 5,000 students have resulted in disruption of operations. Students staged a hunger strike outside Nehu Vice-Chancellor P.S. Shukla's office demanding his removal, along with that of the incompetent registrar and deputy registrar, among other officials. Effigies of the officials were also burnt in the process. The president of the Northeastern Hill University Teachers Association, NEHUTA, Professor Lakhon Kumar, said the faculty had a meeting with Governor Vijayashankar and briefed him about the situation. In response, the Meghalaya governor expressed concern over the ongoing protests, emphasizing that students should not be agitating but instead attending their classes. Moreover, the governor also directed all stakeholders, including faculty and staff, to submit suggestions for resolving the crisis. We apprised the governor, who is the chief rector of Nehu, about the ongoing turmoil in the university, Kumar said. A rail accident occurred early morning of November 9 involving the Shalimar Secunderabad Express near Howrah, West Bengal. According to officials, the derailment took place at approximately 5:30 a.m., impacting 3 coaches, which included a parcel bogie and 2 passenger coaches. The incident unfolded as the 22850 Secunderabad Shalimar Weekly Express traversed the Nalpur station within the Kharagpur division, confirmed by the Southeastern Railway authorities. While the derailment raised initial concerns, no fatalities or major injuries have been reported so far. Emergency response was swift, with accident relief and medical assistance trains deployed from Santaragachi and Kharagpur to manage the situation and provide necessary aid. Restoration work was commenced promptly and is underway as railway officials work to normalize operations and investigate the cause of the derailment. A powerful explosion near the Quetta railway station claimed the lives of at least 4 individuals and left 20 others injured on Saturday, according to reports by Geo News. The blast, which occurred in the vicinity of the station's booking office, unfolded moments before an incoming train was set to arrive, heightening concerns of significant casualties due to the usual crowds. Authorities reported that the explosion took place just before the Jafar Express, scheduled for a 9 a.m. departure to Peshawar, was expected at the platform. Railway officials confirmed that the train had not yet reached the station at the time of the incident, averting potentially higher losses. Emergency services, including police and rescue teams, swiftly responded to the scene. Quetta Civil Hospital declared an emergency and called in additional medical personnel to manage the influx of victims. It is a developing story. More details are awaited. A new U.S. administration under Donald Trump will cease providing support to Ukraine in its fight against Russia's full-scale invasion, Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban said ahead of a European Union summit on Friday, signaling that Trump's recent election could drive a wedge among EU leaders on the question of the war. Orban is hosting the second of 2 days of summit Friday in the Hungarian capital Budapest on the heels of Trump's election victory. The war in Ukraine will be high on the agenda for a gathering of the EU's 27 leaders, most of whom believe continuing to supply Ukraine with weapons and financial assistance are key elements for the continent's security. The nationalist Hungarian leader has long sought to undermine EU support for Kyiv and routinely blocked, delayed or watered down the bloc's efforts to provide weapons and funding and to sanction Moscow for its invasion. He has sought to use summits to make his case to other leaders that they should rethink their commitments to Ukraine. In comments to state radio ahead of Friday's summit, Orban, who is close to both Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin, reiterated his long-held position that an immediate ceasefire should be declared and suggested that Ukraine has already lost its fight. If Donald Trump had won in 2020 in the United States, these 2 nightmarish years wouldn't have happened. There wouldn't have been a war, Orban said. The situation on the front is obvious. There's been a military defeat. The Americans are going to pull out of this war. Russian forces have recently made modest gains in the east of Ukraine, although positions on the front lines have remained relatively stable for months. Still, as the duration of the war approaches 1,000 days, Ukraine's forces are struggling to match Russia's military, which is much bigger and better equipped. Western support is crucial for Ukraine to sustain the costly war of attrition and uncertainty over how long that aid will continue, deepened this week with Trump's presidential election victory. Now let's take another short break and we will return with more news updates. Stay tuned.
Diabetes ko loina da hinglibasing tha amagi manungda control toba ngamle. Urea creatinine wangbasu tha amagi manungda hanthaba ngamle. Khong hamba nungaitabasu numit manganigi manungda fahanba ngamle. Pile saibadi nungsang nabasu chama da chama fahanba ngamle. Cholesterol wangba numit kunida normal oiba ngamle. BP wangbasu tha amagi manungda normal oiba ngamle. Fatty liver oibasu tha amagi manungda fagat hanba ngamle. Pumnamak natural oiba hidak makhalna lying Jabani, Hakjang the Sokadaba side effect, Amatalite, Makata and Hidak Chabagi Mato Sutararoi, Hena Kupaparol Gidamak, Nasimak Langson Birau, Diabetes Hospital, Soibam Laikai, Ayangpali Road, opposite Karkinos Jennings Hospital, Porompat, Imphal East, near Punjab National Bank.
Live Tharadi Miamda, Asengba Adu Haibiu. Dukan Yora Akanda, Masida di offer laite na soida na Harakani. HG Cassette Gallery da amutang linkshin birau. Online price da mobile khudimak loina phangbigani. Hojik se wana ba matamnina loan gi khudong chabasu aikhoi gi maikai dagi pizari. MI gi phone leiba singi su lucky draw leizai. Chahi loramdai asida adom gi daw adu yabra haina amutang yingbiu. Car bite mobile na jingba sing phawwa yana leiri. Ningol chakau bagi special offer gi mathakta aikhoi gi store gi oina su lucky draw tawjari. Lucky draw asigi first prize na 32-inch TV, second prize na induction, third prize na rice cooker ni. Singjamai supermarket ta laiba HG Cassette Gallery da lengshin birak tu na khudong chaba ase lawbi ho.
Makhal kaya gi award fangnaba HG Cassette Gallery ni. Chahi taragi mathaktagi HG Cassette Gallery na mobile store asida matam nga chanaba mongda offer amadi discount kaya piduna lakchari. Sale khudong cha dableresu loan da mobile lawbi ba yagani. Discount piba khatang natana lucky draw tawduna miyamda khudol kaya am su pijari. Miyamsu Singjamai supermarket talaiba HG Cassette Gallery da utang lingjing birau. Loina na HG Cassette Gallery gi Facebook page asibu follow tawba singi onasu lucky draw amasu thamjari.
Saraswati Institute of Management and Paramedical Sciences, Pangai, Imphal East District, opposite to Manipur Police Training Center (MPTC), High River Institute asi.
Government amadi private hospitals in the clinical exposed to booking
affiliated to Manipur University and then recognized by Pharmacy Council of India and then Indian Nursing Council, Masung MNC Manipur Nursing Council. Institute asida fangiba facility sing adadi separate boys and girls hostel, transport facility, amasung 12 hours library facility.
Approved by Ministry of HRD, New Delhi, Government of India.
Welcome back after the short break, and now let's continue with more news updates. The central government is set to hold a fresh round of talks with the United Naga Council (UNC) regarding its demand to roll back the creation of 7 new districts in Manipur. The Ministry of Home Affairs (MHA) announced that the tripartite meeting, which will include representatives from the centre, the Manipur government and the UNC, is scheduled for November 13 in Senapati. The upcoming meeting follows the previous round of talks held on October 11 as the UNC continues to press for the reversal of the district reorganization, which it argues has disrupted traditional Naga administrative regions and affects local autonomy. The issue has been a point of contention since 2016 when the districts were first created, leading to protests and intermittent dialogues over the years. The talks are seen as a critical step in addressing long-standing concerns over regional boundaries and governance, with stakeholders hoping for progress toward a resolution that balances administrative needs with community interests. At least 22 Palestinians were killed in Israeli attacks on different areas of the Gaza Strip, said Palestinian sources. The Israeli army has continued its intensive bombing and artillery shelling in northern Gaza, according to Palestinian security sources on Thursday. A gathering of Palestinians west of the Jabalia refugee camp was targeted by Israeli artillery, resulting in 6 deaths and dozens of injuries who were transported to hospitals in civilian vehicles, Xinhua news agency reported. In another attack, 8 Palestinians were killed after Israeli aircraft bombed a home and a gathering in Beit Lahia town, medics reported. In addition, the Palestinian Civil Defense in Gaza said in a press statement that 3 Palestinians were killed in a bombing targeting a group of people west of the Nusayrat camp in central Gaza. The statement also mentioned that 5 young men were killed when a drone targeted a gathering in eastern Rafah, southern Gaza Strip. On Thursday, the Israel Defense Forces, IDF, announced in a statement that the Israeli Air Force struck more than 110 targets associated with Hezbollah and Hamas till Wednesday. It added that IDF troops continued operations in northern Gaza's Jabalia, eliminating nearly 50 terrorists on Wednesday, and had begun operating in Beit Lahia based on prior intelligence and a situation assessment indicating the presence of militants and infrastructure. Palestinian Ministry of Foreign Affairs and expatriates highlighted that protecting the residents of northern Gaza, an area that the Israeli army insists on destroying and emptying, is the final test of what remains of the credibility of humanity and the international community. India deserves to be included in the list of global superpowers as its economy is currently growing faster than in any other country, Russian President Vladimir Putin has said. Addressing the plenary session of the Valdai Discussion Club in Sochi on Thursday, Putin also said Russia is developing relations with India in all directions and there is a great degree of trust in bilateral ties. India should undoubtedly be added to the list of superpowers with its 1.5 billion population, the fastest growth among all economies in the world, ancient culture and very good prospects for future growth, he said. Calling India a great country, Putin said, "We are developing relations with India in all directions. India is a great country, now the largest in terms of population, 1.5 billion people plus 10 million every year." He said India is leading the world in economic growth. Our vision of where and at what pace our relations will develop is based on today's realities. The volume of our cooperation is increasing many times over every year. Putin was quoted by Russian news agency TASS as saying. Putin added that the contacts between India and Russia in the security and defense sphere are developing. Look at how many types of Russian military equipment are in service with the Indian armed forces. There is a great degree of trust in this relationship. We don't just sell our weapons to India, we design them jointly, he said. For ELITETV News Channel, contact to the email address info@elitetv.in or 9402890982 and subscribe to ELITETV YouTube channel or follow on Facebook page, Instagram and X for more information about the channel. And now, before we end, let's take a look at the headlines once again. A burnt dead body found at Poiropat in Imphal East District under Andro Assembly constituency. Manipur security forces uncover huge cache of arms and explosives in extensive operations across the state. Security troops recover arms and ammunition from Manipur's Kukching and show strict measures. Manipur Kuki-Zo women demand justice and protection following mother's death in Jirbam. Well, that's all the news for now. For more updated news, please tune into Primetime English News at 6 p.m. Until then, have a good day.